Hello everybody, and welcome to a Kerbal space program video. And we seem to start a new game. This is because of if you haven't seen my last video in the playlist, which I'll put in the top right around about now, I wanted to start all over the save again, and it is in a playlist. So yeah. As you can see here, I'm actually starting, I'll do a sandbox mode just because it's a lot easier, but I will do a science mode series as well, commentary video. So yeah, I named it the Astral Space Program, and you did just see I did put a new flag on, custom made. I made it myself. Just because I don't want it to be Astro Space Station, just because I don't want it to be too identical to my name. And as you can see, we started the time lapse. A little bit late for that now, but still. Here we go, constructing the actual space station, as you haven't seen by the title of the video. Yeah, so we've added these nice structural pieces there. I'm actually surprised they hold on in the launch, but yeah. I did want to put those storage modules on, but I had a better idea and put passenger ones there. The space stations in my mind are more for aesthetics rather than purpose, but there's a little bit of purpose going to be added to the space station. It's going to be more of a kind of a bit part relay, kind of. You go and put in some more structural pieces on, and putting those passenger modules on. They act as a not passengers things. They're just an airlock. The windowed kind of airlock that people will, well, I say walk through. There isn't any artificial gravity on this, so they'll kind of float through after they come off from a flight, and putting the shielded docking ports on just in case any debris comes flying, as that happens in my space program, because I'm not very good at this. But if you want a professional, I'm going to say, I recommend watching Matt Lown, obviously spelled M-A-T-T, Lown is spelled L-O-W-N-E. I did put, you can see now I'm putting the storage modules on, those ones open like that. I did actually have an idea for that, which you'll see in a bit, but it didn't really work very well, so I sort of capped them off with those two kind of vertical docking ports that don't actually there, but they could be used as spares. As you can see, I've got these pistons. If you actually want to make this for yourself, I recommend getting both the DLCs, because I have both the DLCs here. I think it's the Breaking History Ground that has the pistons. So yeah, so if you don't have that, then don't attempt to make this craft, unless you want me in future to make stock KSP crafts. You do see that these flipping pistons are way too big, so I do change them around a little bit after this, and these solar panels I'm constructing on these pistons, now you can see on the piston solar panel arms, I tried to make this look a bit like the International Space Station, because I think they're taking it down soon. I'm not really sure, but I think they're taking it down. Sadly, I can't remember what year it was they're going to take it down, but yeah, so this is kind of a bit of an honour, really, to the station. I've heard that they're going to take it down. I'm not sure if they actually are, so don't take my word for it that they actually are going to take it down. I just looked at some websites that said that they might take it down on a certain year. I can't even remember, because I read this article a long time ago. I've just renamed the space station Mark II. I should have done that at the start of the video, but I didn't, because I'm an idiot. As you can see here now, I'm actually trying to do the pistons. You'll see that if you do have the pistons DLC, I actually try to re-extend with the action group. The action groups, I set them wrong, because they're not like other things. You don't do extend and retract, you have to toggle them, which is really annoying, which I didn't know about because these piston things I've only recently got. So I do fix that. You see I put them on these support things, just so I can keep it up, and I thought it was the ground just being a complete ass, and no, it wasn't. It was definitely those action groups, and you can see me changing them now. I'm actually messing around with the hydraulic cylinder parts, and yeah, and you should notice that there are actually some of the solar panels are actually the wrong way around, and that's why you see them spin back the right way up. If you look now, here we go. Look, I fixed it. See, look, those 4 ones just turn around. It's because I put the wrong way. So because I was using symmetry mode, it's a little bit glitchy when I do stuff like this, but that's fine. That's what happened. I thought it was just a loading glitch, but no, it actually was. That's why I reloaded. So what I did was turn off symmetry and just manually put them on, and this was painstaking because it is so annoying, and I hate doing no symmetry modes. It's not because people might assume OCD, but no, I don't have OCD. For the people who might think a little bit, I'm not saying that you are, but I try not to offend people. You can tell I've never done this because I've stuff before, but I've had this game. I'm not sure if I mentioned it in my last video because my last video was posted I think about a week ago. What was it? That I actually have had quite a long time experience with KSP, but didn't actually. I've had this game for about 2 years. I can't remember what year it came out. I think it was like, I'm not sure, but I have this game for 2 years, but I've only had about 90% playing with that because I play other games and I don't have time to practice. There are actually tutorials on, not just videos, there are actually in-game tutorials. They're not as good as the video ones, but if you want to play this game and you have no clue and you do not like the tutorial scenarios in game, I recommend Scott Manley. His videos some of his videos are quite old, but because of the version of, I think it's like 1.8 and this is 1.11 KSP, well I think I don't know, I can't remember, really old version of the game. So, but the same principles and aerodynamics and stuff in this game still apply. It actually tells you how to. There's not just spaceships, you can make space planes, and also just aeroplanes. Because there's robotic parts in the game, there's DLC. I don't know if Scott Manley does this because I haven't watched all of his videos, but there's actually propellers. You can actually make propellers in the game, and they actually do work, and which I absolutely love, but I haven't actually made a propeller craft yet. So, hopefully. I'm not very good at making space planes, but yeah, as you can see, I'm constructing something here, and the original idea for this, these xenon gas tanks, as you see I'm constructing on the side, this is the idea I was talking about earlier with the things, and they don't quite fit. Those are monopropellant tanks, I don't know why I was putting them on. I think I put a bigger one somewhere. But the original idea was actually to have these little mini like vehicle car type craft things that would detach from these storage modules, and for the engineers to fix any broken things or any science people that have their external equipment that they need to reset. There was a problem with this. It didn't actually work because the docking ports are very kind of glitched out, as you can see just there. So what I did was to make them, I just got a docking port like that. Yeah, you can see now I'm getting another docking port and stick it on the other side. And then just construct on there and then stick in the thing. But that didn't really work either, as you can see it glitching out by there. So what I did after this was, I'm going ahead of the video, which is not good for things like that, but yeah. Only problem with commentary videos is that I don't actually start exactly on how what's it called, the video kind of thing. So right now I'm looking on the editor because I actually watched the video as I'm recording the commentary on an app called Audacity. If you haven't watched the last video, I recommend you download it. It's actually really good for musicians, not just audio, but musicians. You can have multi-track layers, to like 2-track layers. Or, yeah, you know, lots of track layers. You can fade in, fade out. There's like different types of fading, and you know there are tutorials out there, but I already know stuff for Audacity, so I don't really need much thing. Tutorials. The only problem with me is that I actually start the recording. I click record on the Audacity thing, and then I press play, so then I can watch it as I'm recording commentary. So you can tell these videos aren't scripted. So right now I'm looking at the bottom of the Audacity. It tells you how long you've been recording for, and it says 10 minutes 44. And on the video that you're watching now, or well, on the editor that I'm watching the video on, it says 10 minute 40, and I just reached 10 minute 50. So I'm about 10 seconds ahead on the recording than I am with the actual video. As you can see, I actually constructed, so you can see that those are kind of netted looking decoupler. I was supposed to put a stack separator there, but I didn't because I'm an idiot. The original idea, I keep saying original idea. The idea for this thing was actually to have a little module there that a pilot could control without actually being in the craft. But I put the pilot in the wrong seats, so it was the wrong way round. And I couldn't put him in the other one, he wouldn't let me, so I did cut that bit out, so you won't see it actually. So yeah, as you can see, I put the 2 crafts on the side of the storage modules, and then I put a ladder there on the airlock module in the middle, as I should have mentioned a lot earlier into the video, but I didn't because I'm an idiot, like I said. Moving on to, yeah, see, I'm putting all the science things. You can see me putting all the pilots and scientists in the passenger seats, but for some reason they're not in there when I actually launch. I don't know why. I think it's because I put them in the lander can, by the looks of it. 2 pilots, as you can see, but there, just in case. And if I do right click on some of the modules, I did cut this bit out because I don't actually do it now. But I did put I did right click the some of the passenger modules to see they're in there, and they were in there. But when I was in space, they were not in there. No idea why. But that's fine. It's not going to serve any purpose, and at least I'll have more Kerbals to actually play along with in the game. So I can do more crafts without actually worrying about to get more Kerbals. I mean, constructing space stations is an absolute nightmare, so that's why I'm doing this space station now, and not a little bit further on in this commentary series. Here we go. I'm actually constructing the main rocket. Yeah. Here we go. There's those relay dishes I was on about. I just put them on, not just for aesthetics, but I actually do want them to serve some kind of function, and I put the massive ones on just for long distance ranges, because I am actually going to put this in about mid-orbit. It's not very high, but I'd love it to be really high actually, but nope. I should have done that, but I actually will put a relay system as much as I can, and I might do some of the I'll launch a couple relay probes in this save, and then over time, or when I'm off recording, I'll actually put more and more relay dishes everywhere so I can connect to the Kerbal Space Center, just in case I accidentally don't use a pilot. As you can see, the decoupler there, you can see it's too big for the engine, so that's why I put those struts there. Those struts actually help. Surprisingly, I didn't think they would actually help, but I put them on there. More for aesthetics, but yeah, this ship is mainly for aesthetics. As you can see, I'm putting those 6. I forgot what the engines are called. I gotta remember. I gotta write the names down for the engines I use in the time lapse here. As you can see, I'm actually constructing. You see one booster, but I actually do put more on there. It's just I do one booster, make the amount of Separatrons, as you can see, and rotate them, because actually rotating these Separatrons actually helps. They actually do help. They actually push it away from the main craft, because if I hate it when they don't do that. Like, look, I put 3 here just because these flipping boosters are really, really heavy, but they are really powerful. They're really, really powerful, and they only get these in the Making History pack, and so there's the little bottom bit there. I think I put, I forgot what I think they're not called Terrier engines. I can't really remember what they're called. Again, I know there's Mastodon engines, which are the big 4 ones that you can't put decouplers on, but here we go, fade into the main rocket. I don't know why I did that. The continued save game, I don't know why it did that. It's not supposed to do that, but it did. Here we go, launching the rocket. I didn't actually put it to full throttle, as you can see at the bottom left. Those are just the boosters carrying it, that's why it's so slow. So after I lifted a little bit, a few meters per second off the ground, I actually shoved it to full throttle by pressing Z and X puts it to full, toggle on, toggle full and toggle down, toggle down. But you can actually use shift and control to manually slowly move it up. I think I do later on change it to 3/4 throttle, or maybe quarter throttle, maybe half. I'm not sure, I can't remember. I'm recording this like a few days after I've actually recorded this video, so I'm not really quite sure. But it's there. As you can see, there we go, the aerodynamic effects there, little white streams, which means it's really aerodynamic. I tried to make this as aerodynamic as possible, that's why I added those fins, and that's why you didn't see me constructing it on, because I just spent like another 10 minutes trying to see what worked best with the aerodynamics here. And then there we go, a nice big fiery plasma sort of stream circling around the fairing. Oh, that's protecting the space station. We're about to make it into a suborbital trajectory around about now. Here we go, and there we go. I eject those boosters, and luckily, I love the way they just sort of flipped and kind of just started falling like that. I love it when it does that, because that way I know it's far away enough to actually stay away from the main craft, which is good. That's always good. Always try and get your boosters as far away as possible away from your main craft, otherwise, just in case it kind of backfires and kind of accidentally hits you, and that's very annoying, because every time that happens I have to redesign the craft, not the whole craft, just the booster section. I have to put more Separatrons on there, and that is annoying as it is. As you can see now, I'm adding an orbital maneuver, just dragging Procreate and messing with the radial in, radial out eventually. I think I do, I'm not really sure. There you go, slight maneuver, and I did, you will see that I did put monopropellant tanks, loads of them, around the craft, because I couldn't actually turn the craft, because it was so heavy in orbit, and I put too much delta V. And if you didn't watch my last video, I actually explained what delta V is. If you look at the bottom right, there's an orange bar above where it says orbit, and it says about, I think, 7,503 meters per second. I can't really see because the window that I'm watching the video on, it's very small. Even though I put it to max, here we go, you can see all those fuel tanks, not fuel tanks, monopropellant tanks around there, just so I can have enough monopropellant to turn this thing, because this is really, really heavy. But the delta V is, delta stands for, it's like, I think it's Greek or Latin for the change in something, but the V means velocity, so it means change in velocity. It's like a little sort of triangular shape, the delta bit. And so an example of changing in delta V, say I had 100 meters per second of delta V, and I was going 100 meters per second in orbit, and if I went forward 100 meters forward and used all my fuel, I'll go 200 meters per second. But if I went the opposite direction, I'll go, well, 0 meters per second, and I'd fall to Earth. Kerbal, I mean. There we go, I'm burning now. I should have actually burned a lot earlier than that. As you can see, the burn time and the node in T minus. A trick with really good maneuver nodes as well. Got to have a pilot on board because they're the best. So you don't have a connection to the Kerbal Space Center, and they can drive them on their own without any connection. That's why pilots are amazing. The best time to actually burn on a maneuver node is actually when the burn time is the exact same time as the node where it says T minus, that you get a really, really accurate one, but I didn't because I'm an idiot, and because I was scared that I would actually fail this mover and have to start this section of the video again. But no, I actually rectified the problem. No, kind of not completely accurate, but it was close enough. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to be completely accurate with your orbits, but it's really good to have a nice circular one. And then, yeah, before you actually go to planets, you don't want to just crash into one. You'd want to slow down and circularize other planets, which I will show you when we go to the. Maybe we might send a rover to the moon, or I think it's easier just to send a lander to the moon. I've never actually sent a rover yet because I'd fail, and it's annoying to rovers because you need signal. You need connection to the space center, and I'm going to need some relays, so so I will do that when I actually set up relays. I might do like a bit of a time lapse and me just putting loads of relays around. I think three different orbit sizes. I'll put 3 relays evenly placed around Kerbal, in between the Mun and Kerbal, just so I can get a nice connection, and they'll all be the same, pretty much. Just I'll call it relay A, relay B, relay C, and so on. I might not need that because for the landing, I might not need it. But so I'll do it after the Mun landing. As you can see now, I'm actually burning I think I'm completely circularizing. I got off the map screen. And actually, I call it the flight view or flight screen, just because nobody knows what the actual screen is called, so I just call it the flight screen. Yeah, so we'll just burn there. Node is 7 seconds away, and I'm burning 30 seconds, which is not too bad, but it's fine. You can always adjust your orbit by burning retrograde or prograde. Prograde is, well, to circularize, to go outwards, and retrograde is to go backwards. It all depends what you've actually set it on. So if it's relative to orbit, it actually is away from the planet. If it's relative, if it's relative to the surface, you could be pointing upwards, because you want to slow down. So a trick most. Here we go, nearly perfect orbit. Look, apoapsis and periapsis, which is highest and lowest point of the thing. So if you hover over the apoapsis, it'll be higher than your periapsis, the velocity. I do have a mod called Kerbal Alarm Clock, which allows me to set transfer windows. So that's why you see those little double sort of squares, so I can warp to apoapsis. It's because of the Kerbal Alarm Clock mod, but that's the only mod I have. Apart from the warp mod, which doesn't actually work because it's not very good. There's no fuel tanks to actually fuel the warp drive, so I don't actually use it. Yeah. Here we go, I just sort of adjust it. Bit of time wasting, here we go, I just flip it. When the apoapsis and periapsis flip round, sometimes almost flip round, that's how you know you got a nice circular orbit. It doesn't have to be too accurate, but a nice circular orbit is nice. I want to keep my orbits as circular as possible, so they're easier to rendezvous with, and so you can dock to them. I'm not very good at docking because I've never actually practiced. Well, I tried to rendezvous with it, but I'm not very good at it. I can't catch up with my craft. I'll either go flinging past my craft or crash into it, which is close enough to docking it, if to be honest. But I'll either go flinging past it, or I'll just sit there at my computer for hours trying to dock, and it's time wasting. So I might not do any docking videos, sadly, and I really wish I did. And yeah, there are docking tutorials out there, and I do follow them. There are like 3 different types of scenarios and different ways you can dock. There are loads of tactics to actually things. You can actually switch where it says orbit. If you click that box where it says orbit, it actually switches the different orbit modes. So the relative modes. So it's relative to orbit right now. If I click it again, it'll say surface. But if I select a target, it's actually going to go to target, and that's how you dock pretty much. And there is a docking mode. If you look at the bottom left, there's like underneath the little green one, there's like a little docking icon, and it's not very good. All it does is just change the WASD to translation mode, which is what IJK, I think it's IJK and L? IJK and L and H and N, those are the translation controls. which is different to what the normal mode is, but it's just easier to use I, J, K, and L. H and N is forward and backwards. I think I and K is up and down, and J and L is obviously left and right. And yeah, and how to rotate and stuff is W, A, S, and D. To turn, turn and Q and E, spins. Rotates. You go. I just deployed the fairing. You'd see me earlier set a what's it called, a quick save, because I wanted to see if the craft was stable enough to actually have without the Kraken attack, which is where the ship flops about when it's not protected and frozen in a fairing. I did quick save, see that happen. If it did happen, I just reload the quick save by holding F9 after pressing F5, which is quick save. There we go. I just deployed the space station there, and then I used, because I have a probe core on the that stage there, I actually was able to deorbit this stage, because it's more than enough fuel. So good job, I did have more than enough fuel. I could probably get to, I think 7,000 is enough to get to Duna and back, which is the analog for Mars. What Duna is. I do boost this. This audio quality is a bit rubbish. It sounds really quiet, but I do actually boost this on the editor, so it won't be as bad for you guys. Just gonna. I've been holding this mic, even though it has a tripod. Now my hands full of metal. I'm starting to lose my voice. I've got a sore throat. I should get coffee, really. Here we go, deorbiting this probe. It is a satellite icon. I don't know why it is. It should be just a junk icon, but it's just satellite. I guess because it has a probe core. And here we go. I'm pointing retrograde now. Here's the trick I was talking about earlier. Because the retrograde is the opposite to your trajectory, which is going down. As you can see, I actually burn up in the re-entry heating. If people don't know. I actually lose connection to the Kerbal Space Center for some reason. I think it's because of the mods I have. They're kind of breaking the game. That warp mod is quite broken, and it shouldn't have done that. I guess because I'm just heating up and I must have melted the batteries or something. But here we go, I cool down enough, but not slow down enough. And the engine kind of exploded. And I slam straight into thing. And the probe core survives with torque thing, and then it doesn't survive. It actually slams straight into the ground and smashes to pieces. Haha, I lied. And those are the rest of the thing. I did try and deorbit it close enough to the Kerbal Space Center, just because why not? And then we are crossfade to the space station. I actually went into the tracking station, and then I went into the tracking station and sort of selected it there, and here we go, just trying to rotate it. It's very hard to control because the controls are kind of flipped, so I try to get a nice angle, and as you can see, those decouplers didn't attach. That was the problem, but it looks nice. I think it looks nice like that. It's kind of unique, and Kerbals can use it as kind of a handrail, but yeah. I tried decoupling it, but you can't because it's glued onto it. But that's fine. I'm fine with it. As you can see at the bottom right, there's only one Kerbal on there. I don't know if it's a glitch, because then look, I started looking into all the passenger modules to see if there was anyone in there, and there isn't, even though you saw me in the time lapse put them in there. Don't know what the problem was, honestly. Yeah. I don't know why I paused there. I'm supposed to keep talking so you guys actually listen to me. If I just go silent, then it's quite boring. Here we go, deploy those other communication dishes that you didn't see me put on. I think you did you? I'm not sure. And those solar panels. And I think this looked better than my old save. This looks a lot nicer too. And there you go. Well, it's the end of the video now, so yeah, I do try testing those what's it called, things, those vehicle things, but I can't control them. They didn't let me. But yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm actually trying to cut the commentary short, about 10 seconds, because there's about, well, it ends at about 31.5 minutes. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, and even better, please share. There probably are better YouTubers out there with KSP videos, but this is more of a hobby than it is of a goal or a career, but it's kind of like a second-hand job. I don't really care if I don't hit 1,000 subscribers, but I like doing these videos. I like, because it clears the mind. It helps because life is stressful, and yeah, as you can see, I can't actually control the craft because I don't know what happened there. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.